Boom! Welcome back. Oh, it's not boom, is it?
No,
it's
blammo!
Blammo! Welcome back, everyone, to Battleboys with me and Ben and Alex and Tom.
I'm not a battle boy.
And
I identify as a battle boy. I
course,
try not to associate with battle boys.
we begin the stream with the inaugural song, which changes according to our whims and how awkward we are.
The most inconsistent
every
song.
week. And one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
We are the Battle Boys.
We play with little toys. We paint them lovely up.
Mine we being yellow.
Lewis is a battle boy. Ben is a battle boy. Alex is a battle boy as well.
And Tom's here too.
Thanks everyone.
You did it. We nailed it without humiliating any of ourselves.
That was okay, wasn't it? That was not so bad.
You'll notice that
That's
there's
been
a
worse.
distinct lack of gameplay board on the table today, and it's because we'd planned something for this week that didn't happen due to people being a bit sick and a bit tired, and basically what happened was after Insomnia, Shin got a bit of the sniffles, and so Tom hasn't had anyone to fight. But
Also,
as soon as Tom found out that Shin hadn't painted his town,
He abandoned all
bothering his own stuff.
I did also move house,
That's true.
which was quite a time-consuming.
Yeah, that's true.
So instead, we have
Process.
I have stroopwafel
Yeah.
on a cup of tea.
What number is that today? How many have you gone through?
Oh, it's about stroopwafel number 5 actually.
Oh, wow.
Dangerous.
I haven't had any lunch and it's just been stroopwafel town.
Just strooping.
Oh my god, just going to be pooping, strooping.
And so we were just
all
going to
day.
talk about,
Pooping and strooping.
just talk to you guys.
Yeah, we thought we'd have a chill stream. Chat to chat,
Yeah.
paint the paints.
So Ben,
Yeah,
you've bought some painting to do.
I did. Shall I show my paintings? Mm-hmm. Show my work? Do a little show and tell. Hang on, let's confuse
So this is what you've been doing at home.
Yeah,
recently.
last 2 weeks I've been well, I had 1 week of smashing and 1 week of doing nothing on this army. So I will get the handy cam and show it off.
You've been bashing through as best you can.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of time for the paintings. Do you know what? I'm actually really excited to do some on stream because this will be the most painting I've done in the last 10 days.
So these are the figures from Star
let's
Wars
brace this.
Legion,
This is it.
which is a new miniatures game that's just come
How
out.
do I do this? I need to
You
zoom out a
bought?
bit.
Did you buy the starter
I bought
set?
the starter set, yeah. So we've got. Hang on, let's zoom right in. That's
I'm not sure you should do that,
Darth
Ben.
Vader leading his Stormtrooper boys.
Oh,
We've got 2 squads of troopers, we've got 2 speeder bikes, and the Dark Lord himself.
Oh, nice. Just like from Star Trek, yeah?
Exactly.
Nice.
There's Mr. Worf, and there's Data,
There's Captain Sulu, Captain Solo.
and then
Where
I
are the
started
Cylons?
the Rebels, but I have not got as far with them. So I've done like 6 of them down
Sequest.
here.
Are they rebels?
Sequest, fine.
Yeah, these brown guys are the Rebels.
They don't look very
Stingray
familiar.
there as well.
Well, no, you
They
never
look like generic army men.
Yeah, well, look, this guy's a generic army man with a machine gun. But then look, this guy, he's got a blue head. That's how you know he's an alien.
I see.
Blue heads are a classic sign of being an alien.
The rebels are very diverse.
This is the old Luke Skywalker, but I haven't painted
The
him
old
yet.
saying goes, blue heads are better than none.
Blue heads are better
And then
than
I've
none,
got-
Alex.
Got this little
Thank God you're here.
Well, exactly. Someone had to.
zoom in out a bit.
If you had the choice of having a bright blue head or not having a head at all, what would you go for?
Do I get to live if I have no head?
Yeah, but you just have to like post stuff through there and you can't see.
Oh, I was thinking that I'd have like my face would be in my chest.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, Krang style.
Yeah, and I smash around and I just don't have a head.
You couldn't really wear a shirt though, could you? Well,
Yeah, you
like a
could.
button-up shirt would be all right, but
I'd have to have like. Well, luckily a lot of my
you've already
shirts
got one
have
of
like
those.
nipple
Yeah, your
holes,
going out gear has
so,
already got those. So.
I'd be able to see through those. I just have to have like a zip for my mouth. Apparently.
I think I prefer the sort of Sarlacc neck. That just goes,
Yeah, that you just put stuff into.
put stuff into the
You
neck,
just have this
neck
like
mouth.
I'd have a blue head.
a blue head.
I would.
You know what? Now that I've gone through all of the different options, I kind of think maybe blue head.
Mainly
Hence
because
the
of
old
wardrobe
saying.
logistics.
Blue heads are better than none.
There we go.
Yeah, you see, it's because my grandparents, they used to say it to me, and I was like, oh, they don't know anything about the world. No head would be cool, but
Yeah, but now you're a little bit older.
I now understand where they're coming from. Blue head. You just look so lost.
Lewis has been recording all day and is just completely bewildered by our nonsense.
Just stroop waffle to mouth.
What the fuck are they talking about?
Whichever option lets me eat stroop waffles, that's the one I take.
So no, welcome back everyone. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you will enjoy this stream. It's going to be a bit weird, a bit different. But then again, like, it's always a bit sort of tricky to see what's going on, especially if you don't know the game as well. Like, a lot of the time, when I played against you, Alex, I still don't really know any of the Dark Elf units, what they do, how they fight, So imagine like a viewer kind of tuning in who doesn't know anything. It's got to be pretty tricky to watch this stream.
Yeah, so if there's anything that we really missed that you're still really upset about, give us a shout about that in chat and we can
let us know what you think about Battleboys.
Talk through what we missed or what didn't make sense. Or
We did a Painty video a few months back, and people seem to really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a couple of us just sat around painting and chatting about our armies and stuff, and they were very positively received. So hopefully people will like it in stream form.
Yeah, because then they can talk directly to us.
Who wants to go next? Alex, do you want to show what you're doing, what you're working on? I noticed you licked your brush a moment ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you're the only non-paint looker here.
Oh, that probably is true.
I'm very much a non-paint to mouth. I'm a stroop waffle to mouth. I'm not a paint to mouth guy.
It's a very similar action. It just takes a bit of conditioning.
I'm going to finish this tea so I can use the mug as a water thing. That's the idea. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going because I forgot to bring. There's going to be a lot of us getting up, I think, and fetching stuff that we
forgot.
Well, I'm kind of a bit more buildy at the moment. So if you want to use this paint pot,
Oh, so it's Tom and the Paint Boys.
So first of all, Tom,
Tom,
let's just pause for one moment before. So you have some tanks.
yeah.
Do they have custom parts on them? Because they've got these like washing machines attached.
Yeah.
Are these modified in
These
some
are
way?
heavily modified. Well, not heavily.
What are they all?
Yeah, you should
Well,
show them off.
do you want to go
Kind
through
of
Alex first, and we'll just come round?
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what Tom's doing.
Yeah.
With these
Stay
washing
tuned
machines.
for the washing machine chat.
It's going to be big.
What do you know?
I think everyone who knows sort of computery bits knows that Blood Bowl was just released as a computer game.
Oh yes, just last week.
Well,
Very
a while ago, very recently. But it also, before it was a tabletop miniatures game.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
absolutely.
How did that work? Was it on a hex grid?
No, just a normal grid, a grid, a square grid.
A square grid?
Yeah.
A chessboard?
Yeah, like a chessboard.
The computer game is almost identical to the original game.
It's very similar.
Pretty close, actually.
So I'm painting some of these, some Skavens. But yeah, so I've literally only just started these. It's a bit...
Can't really see that at all.
Yeah, I mean they're black and I've just started slapping some yellow on. But the reason I've done that is because the lovely chaps at In-Star Paint sent us a load of their paint to play with.
Oh yeah, shit.
Are we sponsored now by In-Star Paint?
I don't know, not really.
No.
But they did send the Goblin Green.
Oh, which is what I was
Which you
super
requested
helpful.
previously. So are these the guys who make the old paint?
Yeah, so they remake
old Warhammer
they
paints.
remake the old Warhammer paints, and
They formulate them, do they?
Yeah,
Are they
exactly.
called Goblin Green?
No, so
I
there's
assume for legal reasons
Pine
they're
green.
not.
yeah, I don't know.
But they put a little reference with it that tells you which one's which.
Well, these are that's the vintage conversion chart.
Right.
Can I just see that? Like, from the outside, that looks like...
Looks like Dark Ages green.
That looks closer to like snot green.
Which
or
one?
No, I
What
probably picked up
reference
the
is
wrong
that?
one.
What reference is
It'll
that?
be this one here. The reference
that
IV13.
looks a lot more like...
IV13 is Goblin Green,
Yeah.
1998 version.
1998 version of Goblin.
Because they
a
did,
premium, yeah.
they did change. They put less yellow in it after 1998.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
do you
know what?
have,
I actually kind of like the slightly more pastel one. Just putting it out there.
I like
What?
the pastel
It's
one.
less
I like this one.
Less Bing. I did like the old Bing
That's
one
the point of Goblin Green, is to be as garish as possible.
on the rims of my bases.
This kind of colour. That's sort of green. Who don't know what a Goblin Green is?
If you don't know what a Goblin Green is, just get out.
Can we, listen,
Adjust your monitor
I
to
still
Goblin
feel
Green.
like I'm a newbie to this, right? Like, I probably had all these paints and more when I was 13. In fact, I probably had older versions than this, but the 1998 version was just coming out.
So I'm painting these.
thing on the street.
I'm painting these Skaven and I'm putting.
some Goblin Green. It's just on the streets.
If you've got Eandon yellow in there,
Well, this is very similar. This is like Yarden Dark Sun, is it, or something? It's either that or this, or something similar anyway.
Is this
So I'm
ivy?
just going to have a play and see if I can paint yellow models on top of a black undercoat.
Ooh, it's a bold.
So you're going for like an ochre base coat then?
Where are your coded ones? So these are these additional ones.
Yeah, so there's some metallics, there's some of their own paint range, there's some washes to try out as well, and yeah, that's the vintage bag there. I don't know.
This looks really fun. This one looks like there's like red lipstick in here.
Yeah, well those will be the old colours, the stupid
They
bright
used to be
ones.
really bold and bright.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, before everything went grim.
They've got a gemstone colour, purple. Because didn't Games Workshop bring out these paints that were supposed to be used to paint gems with?
Oh, the ones you picked up, these are the metallics and the flip paints as well.
What's a flip paint?
A flip paint. So you know, like on your Harley Davidson.
Yeah, I've got parked outside.
The one that looks sort of like a orange and purple kingfisher fade petrol-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a flip paint.
Is it?
Oh,
yeah.
so it's like you look at it from one direction and
So-
it's one colour. And
So
then
it's like a colour changing paint.
Yeah, so if anyone is brave enough to slap one of these all over their Necrons,
Fucking go for it.
then go for it.
it
But
doesn't
yeah,
feel like something you'd stick on a stormtrooper, so I might...
yeah.
I have got like a couple of
not canon,
leader
is
guys
it?
actually. I could mess around with it.
Oh, but maybe I could have, flip troopers. Because every Star Wars movie introduces a new kind of stormtrooper.
Yeah, you got to keep it new.
So just jazz troopers. They go from like
So
purple
is
to
it just a
orange.
colour changing paint? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Does it give you like this iridescent kind of?
Yeah, like a beetle shell or like a puddle of oil or
Is there like
whatever, but then-
a bluey greeny one?
maybe. I don't know where to even put them.
Whatever you got in mind.
But I don't know whether you
Like
should do them over a black undercoat or a silver undercoat or a white undercoat or
Because if you could get the iridescent
Orange
bluish
first.
green,
That'd be amazing.
see, that's like a blue purple flip.
I heard you just needed a lot
purple.
of coats.
You want, like, turquoise
lots and
and
lots of things.
Green gold flip?
green and gold. Oh,
That makes sense. I mean, that's good advice for any painter.
scary.
A red blue flip?
No, now you're just literally just handing me just random
The whole
things.
box.
Oh my god, I've always wanted
Go
to
on,
do an
Mailbox.
Alpha Legion army, but never done it because I didn't think I could ever pull off that green-blue, highlighting.
I think you just have to cheat. Like,
Well, yeah, but if there's a hot paint
Somehow.
that just does it for me,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
It's why you've never painted Scottish guys before.
Oh,
Because
yeah, because fuck my life, I'm not painting tartan.
yeah, but if
Jesus, if there was
Someone-
literally tartan paint.
then boom, tartan marine.
Isn't tartan paint the whole like thing like
That was
the cure, baldness cure,
Well,
or whatever? Yeah.
you get the
It's famous
work
snake
experience
oil.
kit to go get by it for you.
That's right.
What if you mix two of these? If you mixed the blue one and the green one,
Then you'd have a blue, green.
would they
blue.
all mixed, or does
I don't
it
know. It's,
I don't
kind of
know.
witchcraft,
I don't
isn't
know.
it? So I feel like you don't want to cross the streams
come up with like an error message?
and have it like backfire and just come up as purple and black like hexagons.
Brown, green flip. What are you painting? An iridescent brown and green, like. You gotta be a real fucking pervert to paint something that paint scheme.
No, it's like a beetle shell. Those beetle shells do that.
Iridescent brown
They go
green.
brown green. like that.
Iridescent brown green.
Like, what is that
Are you
like?
painting your replica beetles you've been collecting?
Oh, you
Tyranids.
you taxidermied some beetles and you need to like touch up the paintwork where your pin went through and broke their shell.
Oh, yeah, Tyranid shells.
Oh,
Is it like a chaos army? Is that
Sounds
what it
horrible.
is? Is it like
so bad.
Oh, it would look really good on Chaos Demons, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Or Eldar like
like
Redguard
some
or
noble
something.
stuff.
Metallic brown green. But there's every other colour to choose from, and you choose.
It's a life choice.
It's a life choice. I went for the brown green Eldar.
I identify as iridescent brown green.
Oh man.
Oh man, well I know exactly what I'm going to
Mix those guys. Put those together. See how they look.
But I'm not just slapping them on my models. Like, I did have some idea about what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the paint scheme?
What does chat think? Big enough donation, I'll just
he-
lob this all over
Should he
Tom's
just,
tanks.
should he
I
just
think we need a test model
not make tanks?
with some. Shall I dig out see if I've got like an old model that can just be painted up like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got a whole shitload of random models here, actually. Brown green, right, what should be brown green? Do you want to do a brown green mummy?
No, like something
What do we undercoat?
something with
something
metallic.
smooth, like a beetle shell or something. Or
No, because some of these guys are pretty cool.
These are all Tom's coolest. This is Tom's favourite models.
No, these are just random. Oh, I've got a Goliath somewhere. Do you want a Goliath?
yeah, see, I think these are like a
There
big
you
box.
go. Look at him. That would be perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. So this is what the old Goliaths used to look like.
The old baby old boys.
They were very little.
They were lovely. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can make this.
Looks very proud of his pecs. doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, you would be too if you had such bastions
Bastions of
muscle.
manliness.
Yeah.
Can I steal
Yes.
an old shitty dry brush thing to do some dry brush? Perfect. That one looks knackered. This one looks like it's been. Where did you get this from?
That
Fart code BR7.
it's an army painter brush.
Looks old.
Had it for many years.
It served you well. All right. So Alex, Skaven for Blood Bowl team.
Yeah.
I mean, with a Blood Bowl team,
I feel like I should hand this back to you.
can you kind of just do whatever you want, really, with models? Can you kind of represent? Because you just need miniatures, right? They and a ball.
As long as you can
have
tell
one?
which ones are your throwers, which ones are your linesmen.
Yeah, it helps to be able to tell which is each position.
Most teams have like 2 to 4 different classes on their
Yeah.
team, basically.
Yeah, most things will have 4. 4 is like the average. And you want to be able to tell very easily what those are. But if you're playing in like a league, then you kind of want to be able to tell the difference between each of the models as well.
Usually the positions are wacky enough that you just need like throwers usually have a ball in their hands.
Blitzers look a bit more fighty,
Yeah. Catchers have like a big hand in the air.
or a glove.
Yeah, you can't go too far wrong, really.
Do you need to have like a coach or like an owner?
You don't
Don't
have
the Blood Bowl
to.
teams have like owners, like kind of professional teams
Yeah,
do?
yeah. You have
stuff.
like your owner, a coach, and it's nice to have those as models, but they don't have any in-game effect.
Although you can like, when your guys get super injured, you can retire them and make them into assistant coaches, can't you? To like,
Yeah.
give yourself a very, very minor buff.
That definitely was a thing.
But yeah, some people go all out and they'll make a whole bunch of like cheerleaders and coaching staff and apothecaries and
Yeah, just to
All that
have
kind
on
of
the
stuff.
side.
just to like fill out their dugout, but you don't need them.
So I quite liked having as like your score counter, using my coach as like the score counter. It's like a nice excuse to have a model and put it on the table. You know, have a goblin in like a big fur-lined jacket
With a cigar.
Yeah, and he could be the owner of any team. It doesn't matter.
Does he have the same voice as the guy from Spider-Man?
Yes, is that a problem?
So Tom, let's hear about your tanks.
Oh,
So how heavily modified
okay.
are these? Because I don't really know what they
Not
are, what they're supposed to look like,
crazily.
even like normally.
So basically, like, so you get the normal hellhound. I don't have a picture of it, but you get like the normal hellhound.
Yeah,
It's like a flame
the normal
tank.
hellhound that we all know.
I like
What it
hellhounds,
looks like.
and because of how flamers work now, was like I want to have loads of flamers.
Okay.
You've got guys that aren't good at shooting, give them a thing that automatically hits, blam.
Yeah, that makes
Amazing.
sense.
And so the regular hellhound looks a lot like a chimera, so its back is just normal. But Forge World made their own hellhound equivalent versions, which had like giant fuel tanks on the back. And so for a tank that, when it gets shot, is very prone to exploding, I wanted my things to look like they're going to explode. Look so impractical on the battlefield.
Yeah, giant fuel canisters,
Yeah.
ready to go up in smoke.
Yeah, with like a flamethrower on it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got CJ's help to make some things.
So did you make them yourself?
No, fuck no. Jesus
I was
Christ.
going to say.
Like, no, it's CJ. Do something myself.
No, but CJ made them himself. Or did he buy the parts on like Forge World or some other?
No. So he
third party?
built this from like plastic
So
card.
all that white stuff you can see is literally just plumbing pipes and plastic card strips.
No, I mean
Yeah.
that's what I meant by
Yeah.
build it yourself, effectively.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't order the parts, the custom. It's not a pre-made custom kit. Or
No. Like, so, because you could buy the Forge World one, which looks kind of similar to this, but it's like fucking 35 quid or something for a little tank to put on the back of your tank.
Yeah, on top of the price of the tank itself.
And
Feels
so,
like that. Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck that noise. So I'm just finishing them off. He did most of the work, and now they're almost done. But yeah,
Man, they look great. They look really, really nice. I can't believe he had the patience to put all the rivets on and everything.
Holy shit! Like he is very precise and dedicated. Yeah, you can see. So it's a thing. It's like a little white thing. I don't know. It looks just like a blob.
At the moment, it does. How much progress are you going to make before the end of the stream? That's the question. Are people going to see this thing transform, or are they just going to? Are you
Probably
just going to be
not
doing other
massively,
things?
because I'd say 90% of the work has been done. All I need to do is just add a few little bits and fill in a few holes here and there, and then it's done. I might put the track guards on, add a bit of like stowage, so I've got my other tanks with me that I've almost fully painted. They still need a few bits done to them. So from a distance, they just look like grey things.
Yeah.
On like the other tanks, like because I'm only having a few models, want to like kind of convert them up a bit, make them a bit like unique, make them a bit more fun, and
that's really exciting.
lots of like stowage and
They look
crap
really like
on them.
lived in. They've got barrels and bags and crates and stuff all strapped to them.
Yeah, because
cool.
like watching movies like Kelly's Heroes is like the sort of prime example. Or you kind of get it with Fury or things like that.
They sort of lived in those tanks for weeks at a time, didn't they?
Well, yeah, like you could be in the same tank for like a year if you're lucky, or unlucky. I don't know, but if it hasn't been shot. But like you just accumulate crap, and it's like your house and your campsite. You set up like awnings on the side of it and things like that. And so I wanted it to look like they'd all the junk that they'd need to be out in the world fighting. Because I wanted it to be like tank cases. Like these guys are
they've
like
been going for a long time. They know what they're doing.
yeah, rather than being like they're just fresh raw recruits straight off the factory line, just into the battle. So yeah, the things that CJ made. So they're all the white stuff he put together, like all of this stuff. Oh my god, it is like absolutely insane. And in turn, each one is a little bit different to each other.
Well, that's the bit that blows me away. He didn't just settle on like, this is how I do them, bash 3 of them out. He was like, I'm going to do something completely different.
Yeah, every single time. And so then here are the tanks I've been working on. So they are quite grey, but with
You got
lots
some
of
nice weathering on them and then stripes. And stuff.
yeah, I'm not sure if you can really. This is one of the problems. I went for quite like a neutral, muted kind of like colour scheme.
Doesn't pop on camera too well, does it?
Yeah, once we hit it onto the table, I promise you in person, they look fine. But from like a thing, you can't see anything.
No, they look good. They look really good.
I'll just cut it.
They look great. Tom, shut up.
And show off the derpy KV2 turret.
Oh, and so yeah, because you get a demolisher, which is like a bigger, heavier tank. So like this guy, so like the normal turret is, oh shit, I can't really fucking see. It looks like that, is quite like small, but then you've got this guy with his mega like turret, which is like twice the height. He's got a stubbier little gun. Because it looks like a KV2, which is
one of your favourite tanks from
I really, really like the look of that tank. It is absolutely like idiotic. Just the profile on it is so tall.
It's like 3 times the height of like another tank.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so, yeah, picked up a kit that was online. It was just like a resin. A guy making his own stuff for Warhammer on eBay. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll buy one of those.
So I think this is what's happened to you guys. Like, you've done this for so many years that you're not content with the vanilla kits. You have to kind of custom them up, but you have to fancy them up.
Got to make them your own.
Well, I mean, that was basically how it used to be back in the day. Games Workshop now tend to only release rules for things that there are kits for.
Right.
But back in the day, there would be all sorts of unit entries within the books that there just weren't models for. So
really?
So you just had to build them, and it's a crap business model.
But it was fun.
Which is why they've changed it. But it's fun. But there were so many third parties that could get in there and just make
snipes of sales.
weird turrets or different monsters or a certain lord on a given mount that Games Workshop hadn't got round to really, really mass producing.
Yeah.
So you could find all of these brilliant things, and it kind of opened everyone's eyes to lots of other smaller companies. It was
especially with like all the specialist game stuff, like especially Blood Bowl. Like any of the specialist games, when they stopped selling them, other companies just super started making it. Like me and Ben have been looking at Epic figures today.
Oh, there's so many companies that make such excellent models for Epic now.
And we just haven't looked at any of the GW stuff. It's all been other.
But I guess you get used to the Games Workshop stuff, right? And then that becomes the boring vanilla.
Yeah.
And then all the alternatives become like the exciting alternative.
Also, even in their magazine and in all of their stores, there are not very many conversions, and there are not very many anything. So,
because back in the day, I used to work for GW when I was a lot younger, and they used to do this thing where staff members could buy any part they wanted at the cost price for that component. So you'd say, okay, this character's got a cool helmet with a big plume. I'll order 100 of that little helmet for like £4, and then everyone in my army will have that cool big like crested helmet. And so Games Workshop stores used to have these amazingly converted armies that like everyone would just think, oh man, I wish I could do that.
This was back when you could mail order the parts and the models weren't actually on a sprue.
Everything was metal.
Now they're on a sprue. You can't have someone in the back warehouse clipping out that individual head off 300 of these big sprues.
Do you remember when you could do like weight stuff?
Yeah.
Like seeing a guy, one of the staff members, he had like a Empire army. Do you remember? I can't remember which like faction it was in Wartime, but there was a dude with a great sword, and he's like kind of like leaping forwards.
Okay.
Quite like athletically, like he's on one like toe, one leg's up.
You didn't do a whole regiment doing that.
The whole unit of like 25 guys with great swords were all that model, apart from the command group.
Nice.
And they were painted really nicely.
But it looks like synchronized leaping.
Yeah, what are you doing? It's like a synchronized swimming team. It's a dance act. Like, why are they all doing
the mega jump?
I really like that model. It's like,
wow.
have that as your captain or something.
Imagine if you had that, like, you're watching 300 and all the Spartans do the big slow-mo leap in exactly the same
Everyone
time.
does it. Just, oh man, it'd be dumb.
It'd be so dumb.
It'd be so dumb.
I find you have to do more and more of that stuff these days with certainly the Games Workshop toys and a lot of other people's things, because they put these stupid big dynamic poses in that are
they make them
basically
so unique.
unchangeable. So you have to learn how to chop apart unless you want.
You want,
a load
1
of
in 5 of your
clones.
guys doing the same thing.
So, what am I doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Lewis, what are you doing?
I've got a big box of mess, right? A big whole load of Necrons that are kind of, some of them are like broken, some of them are in weird poses, some of them they're all in various states of process. Some of them were ones that I had, some of them were ones that I put together from old bits and bobs, and some of them I got online for next to nothing that someone had obviously not loved.
Found like a bunch of them on the eBays.
And so, as a result, some of them don't have like Gauss, some of them don't have like the little rods in them, some of them don't have, they're all based up differently, they're all just a big mess. So I'm just trying to make them look consistent and be in my style, which is very simple.
So that means you've got a lot of green sticks that need to be painted orange.
Yes, so I actually used like orange sticks for my original ones, but I found that because I didn't really like the orange sticks that I got, they were a bit too light orange. I preferred like a darker thing, so I ended up just painting them orange and then painting them with a fluorescent orange over that orange to make it look more stand out.
Right.
So that's what this guy is. This fluorescent orange stick is just painted fluorescent orange over a green stick.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to paint over them anyway, then why bother getting the orange?
So no, I've got some. So I'm just not even worrying about the green rods anymore.
That makes sense.
So I also got this base combination from Games Workshop. Okay, that I bought this ages and ages ago, and I never bothered to do it properly because I wasn't really. Nowadays, I'm like, okay, bases are like more important than the model kind of thing. I feel like sometimes like base, it's not a lot of effort to make a really good base.
Exactly. I always make an effort with my bases because I find a good basing job makes the whole model look like 50% better.
Yeah, and so a lot of these bases, I've put this stuff called a Grelin a grell and earth on it, right? And it's like a texture paint. Okay. And the idea is you take a grell and earth. I'm just gonna throw this. Let me explain this to you, Ben. And you can tell me whether you think it looks good or not.
Well, I've never used this stuff before. This is like witchcraft to me because it came out after I stopped like doing Games Workshop.
So these
show me a die.
these are all the grell and earth guys. So it's just sand with a grell and earth. So actually,
can you see? Let me get it in the light. So you can see the texture on the base.
yeah. So this is just the guy. This is just some scarabs, right? They're sprayed silver.
So you can see some patches of texture on that base.
And the point is that you layer it on quite thick, and it just makes this texture on the base on its own.
Okay.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about sand and stuff.
And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get a dry brush, okay, and you're supposed to get this this tyrant skull, which is all dried here, and put it on, and then you're supposed to wash it with this stuff, okay.
Okay.
And so what that ends up looking like is this, which is a bit weird.
Let's get it in there. Get my shadow out of the way.
But it's definitely a thing.
Okay.
It's a style. And so I'm just going to put a few tufts on it.
That's not like massively different from how I've been doing my guys. Like it's a totally different method, but it ends up looking quite similar.
Go on, Tom. What do you want? Are you all right?
Nothing.
Just raise your hand.
Nothing.
You're okay.
It's just
There's nothing.
me and Alex are sign languaging to each other.
Okay. So what have you done with yours?
So mine is sand, like actual real life sand and pebbles, glued onto the base, and then painted brown, and then dry brushed lighter sort of sandy colour.
Right. So it's just painted brown and then dry brushed like a yellow.
Yeah, it's a bit easier to see on a larger base.
It looks really good on that base. Mine's a lot yellower than yours, but maybe I used too much of the yellow shade. I don't know. Mine's definitely sandier.
Yours is a lot quicker.
How long does yours take though?
Well, the hard part is getting the base coat on it because sand absorbs water, right?
Right.
So you paint it the whole thing brown, and then it all seeps in, and then like 2 hours later you come back to it and it's dry, and you need to give it another coat because it's soaked it all up. Are you sure this is the same stuff?
So that is
As your cracked earth base?
No. So this is sand on it first.
Ah, right.
So this is one which I haven't put sand on.
Right.
This is one which I just put a layer of crappy sand on. Mm-hmm. Just PVA glue. Stick it in a fucking tray of sand, let it dry, job done. Mm-hmm. Really shitty and lazy, but I don't know what I want. I'm actually, honestly, I don't really like either of them. I kind of want...
What have you tried dry brushing this stuff?
No, I was going to do that now, actually.
Battery's gone.
And then we'll see.
Okay, let me try and figure out how this cable's come unplugged.
Fuck me. Being a bean lord over here.
What are you doing, Tom?
What is going on in Giggle Corner?
Tom's having lots of fun.
I was just waiting for you to start shouting at me.
Who, Alex?
No, you.
Me? Why me?
Because I was like rummaging through the box. Because I'm building the turrets for the Hellhounds because they're not built yet. And you build your turret. You've got like the bottom bit of the turret. You've got the top bit of the turret. And then like a little thing goes in so you can plug the gun in the front. But you need a little waggler in there, like a little cylinder.
This guy.
So that's what I thought it was. Yeah. And I was like, oh, perfect, yeah. This little thing, glue the gun to it. So I spent ages rummaging through my box, trying to make as little noise as possible to find the other piece. Eventually gave up and was like, fuck it, I'll just build one. Then realised, oh wait, this doesn't actually fit. This is from the one chimera that I have. This is completely the wrong part, and the bit I'm looking for was still on the sprue. Beans all over my hellhound. See, I was kind of a bit against the sitting and painting and chatting thing.
But
you know what?
It's kind of grown on you.
I'm kind of into it now. I'm kind of.
You feel like you've got some things to do and you need to do them.
Yeah. Like, because I don't even have like a desk set up at my new place yet.
I think you're excited to paint these things that CJ's given you, though, because they are really fucking cool looking.
I need another little piece. No, it's fine. Oh, man, fucking checking the instructions like some kind of child.
That's good. I would just smash it.
No, this is awful. Throw it across the room.
This kit's broken.
But I didn't know if this piece goes in upside down or not.
Talking about customization,
because it could,
though, right?
Stuff goes in the right
There's
way.
Well, it could go either way, and it wasn't any difference.
There's like so many different factions now, and like and you can pretty much even make your own one up, or one that isn't like necessarily in the codex. You can be like, my guys are a special chapter. They're vampires as well, but they're also sparkly. and they live for 1,000 years. Anyway, it's like, and you can, like, Games Workshop kind of supports that, and all the games kind of support like these little bits of like, you kind of using your own fluff to.
Yeah, I mean, people
as
make
long
their
as
own
you're not playing in like
characters and,
official
like-
tournaments or whatever.
Well, I mean, what most people would do in that case is just pick rules that are close enough to what they want their guys to be, and say, okay, these are the Sparkle Boys, but I'm just using the Blood Angels rules because they
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, and then you obviously can you want to kind of get stuff that suits that army, right? You want to get a look and a feel, and the Games Workshop models, like we were talking about this yesterday, like, undid some Thousand Suns stuff, when they're sort of more chaos wizards, they're not necessarily so spiky and angry as the rest of the other Chaos Space Marines. And so as a result, something that kind of just is a generic Chaos Space Marine unit doesn't necessarily look very good.
Yeah, it looks out of place. Like the Thousand Suns, half the units in the Chaos Army, if you take them straight out of the box, don't look right with the Thousand Suns.
So you do need to do a bit of customization sometimes, just kind of just wing it. But there are kits that you can get, but
Oh yeah,
if you can do it yourself,
that's half the fun.
better.
Though. Like I've always much preferred building and converting and designing my own models more than painting them. So there's so many armies I've done where I've built them all and they look really cool, and then I've just never actually finished painting them because the fun was in trying
conversion.
the conversion, building
The
my
challenge.
own style.
I can see why people get a bit frustrated as well. They get to a point where, because I bought this Defiler on eBay, and the guy had assembled it right up to the point where he wasn't sure what weapons to put on it. Basically, he'd done it all but the
So got-
weapons.
got
and
the
he
legs
was like,
together.
you could tell he'd stopped, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to just figure out what weapons need to go on it, and then I can finish building it, But that was kind of too much.
Right, and then he gave up.
Yeah.
and sold it on eBay.
I think that was kind of what happened. It was and I think the answer to that is magnets or something, but I think that sometimes you can get a bit bogged down and think, oh, I'm just going to customize this, I'm going to just do this, and then you never do it.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes, I mean, these Stormtroopers, I managed to actually get them finished because I decided, sod it, I'm not going to paint them the best models I've ever painted. I'm just going to get them done. Because otherwise, sometimes if you hold yourself to too high a standard, you just never finish.
Sometimes you just need to start. It's like if you start with a blank piece of paper and you're trying to write a story. It's very hard to start. It's that staring at that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called when it's like that. There's a name for it, but
Well, definitely, because sometimes you feel like everything I write to this is actually making it worse than its potential.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Every layer of paint I put on makes it
It's looking worse and
slightly
worse.
less perfect than it was, less than it is in my head, and you feel like not doing anything is better.
But sometimes you just have to. Everything you do though increases. The way I think of it is everything I do helps me do the next thing slightly better. So as long as I'm just whatever I'm doing, if it's just literally splashing stupid shit onto bases, that is slowly moving me towards.
Yeah,
See, this is wait till that dries and then see what you think.
Oh, well, it shows the cracks much better, doesn't it?
I originally wanted to go for a kind of more sandy, Egypt-y feel, like a desert-y planet, yeah. But I don't know if this looks like a desert, and I don't know if the other one looks really like a desert either.
We'll have to wait till it's dry.
And so I'm feeling now, because I did some of them on a black base. There you go, like this guy. And he actually looks pretty cool on a black base.
Well, Necrons, almost every Necron army I've ever seen is on grey bases. Black bases, dry brushed grey.
Yeah.
Seems to be the standard,
Yeah.
because it just does kind of work as a look.
Have we got a grey? Let me just dry
I'm
brush
getting
this
a grey.
base grey, and we'll see what it looks like. I have got some Astro Granite.
What are the
which is
difference
the other fucking
between your bases? Can I see? Can I
let me do this one, and then I'll let you see. It's medium sea grey. Ben. From Vallejo.
Vallejo.
But I know what you mean by your everything you do, you get a little bit better. So I think I was doing a dwarf army years and years ago, Warhammer Fantasy Dwarves, and that was just at the
I love
time of starting to read like painting guides.
yeah.
Like those sort of like Forge World Masterclass ones.
Nice.
I'd be like got for
Actively making an effort to like learn some new techniques.
yeah, and like had like a diorama guide thing for like Airfix models and stuff, like a book as a Christmas present or something from an aunt, and so I'd like going through and trying out like because before I was just like smash paint on model, block colors, that's it. But like learnt dry brushing and washes and highlighting, and like buying like a dwarf army with my pocket money. I was building it up really slowly. Like, you know, you'd get a box of troops once a month, maybe. And the units that I painted at the beginning of that army compared to like the ones at the end were so radically different.
That's kind of nice though, isn't it? To see like how far you've come.
How like much it... And like the Ironbreaker unit, the first like models in that, because it was like...
You stick them at the back of the ranks though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely like fill it up like from back to front. Because they were like £5, like a blister pack for three models.
3 guys, yeah.
And so that took a lot of saving up.
Because you needed at least like 15 or 20 of those guys.
Yeah, you wanted like a block of 20.
Yeah, and once that's dry, give them a very faint brush of white.
Okay, just to do the very highlights.
Yeah.
See, that looks so much better, doesn't it? Like, honestly, with the Necron aesthetic than being in the desert. I just don't think the desert looks very good.
They originally started in the desert, didn't they?
Yeah, old school.
The
Fighting Praetorians.
Praetorians, yeah.
Yeah, well, they just had some spare Gorka Morka terrain left over, didn't they? And straight after Gorka Morka, they were just like, this is deserty stuff, bam, on go the Necrons, and then
Well,
we
also-
never had Goblin Green ever again.
You're right, that was it. Necrons
was
killed
it.
Goblin Green.
Rip.
Oh my
It was
god.
neon green.
The Necrons were in Gorka Morka.
BRB, everyone.
There was in the artwork a Necron skull in a junk heap in Gorkamorka. So I guess Gorkamorka was a tomb world.
Well, yeah, because the diggers who got Archaeotech,
Yeah.
because they dug underground and they found these like ancient like pyramid type things, and so they got their random war gear that they could buy, and you could send people off to use it, and you got that random like
tech
D6
guns and
D6 chart of Archaeotech, and that was all meant to be like Necron weaponry that they were like finding stuff. Because if you send people in, there's a chance that they wouldn't come back.
Yeah, because the Necrons would get them.
But they came out and they'd have like a war scythe or something like that equivalent. And so Gorka Morka is on a Necron planet. Yeah. So we're not like flat earthers or things like that, but I'm pretty sure that is a Necron homeworld.
Makes sense?
And so they're desert boys.
It's good.
Yeah,
Good fact.
you into that? Once again, take it with a pinch of salt.
Also, it's 20-year-old lore, so it's probably been rewritten and
Yeah. And it might not have been
Yeah, well, Gorka Morka probably doesn't even exist anymore.
probably non-canon.
It could have been a Chaos Android back then.
Oh yeah, very true.
Oh shit!
Man, yeah, the original.
Oh, I don't know. Did you did have? Oh man, actually, this feels like a Price is Right thing right now. Were Necrons out?
I think Necrons, the original Necrons that were basically Terminator rip-offs,
Yeah, the ones
existed
before Praetorian.
before Gorkamorka. I'm gonna state my claim.
Yeah, I think I would go for that as well. I feel like that's an older. I just really remember the shot of like Praetorians fighting. Like there's the Necron Lord who's like the
really bad old model.
and there's like 5 Necron warriors and like 2 destroyers coming towards them. Some scarabs just loosely just scattered along the table.
Yeah.
Because back when they didn't even have bases,
No, they were just like a little miniature the size of a penny that
And-
would like. What?
they had like a line of Praetorians and they had 2 of the like injured Praetorian models like in between them, and just really vividly remember like that battle report or something.
Well,
So
yeah,
I
because
feel
that
like that was an
the
earlier
white dwarf
White
everyone
Dwarf.
got because it came with a free metal Necron.
Yeah, of course you bought that one. Oh man, do you remember when they did that? Like gave away like free models.
We did this more recently.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but, like-
Blood Slaughter Brute Hell Cleaver
Oh
guy.
yeah, I forgot they did that.
But models for games that I like.
Came out. Oh, I see. No, that was it. That was a cool
monstrosities that destroyed my first love.
Yeah. Also, I think it was like more special as a kid to have like a free
It
model.
was like a 2 for
Yeah.
1 because you didn't have to choose that week whether you were going to buy a model or the White Dwarf.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could get both.
It was pretty.
Who cares if it doesn't fit your army? I'll make it fit.
Just stick some spikes on it. Give it an orc head.
Exactly. It was a simpler time.
I used to like the fold-out terrain they made, where you had a card section, a card sleeve in the middle that would have extra games and this and that and stuff. So yeah, you had
Cool,
these.
although years later, like trying to flick through that White Dwarf, and you always just sprang to that page. You're like, oh Jesus!
Oh, I remember the first version of Battlefleet Gothic came free with a White Dwarf, and you had like the cardboard ships.
Oh,
I loved that.
oh man, BFG was like a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I used to like the paint charts. I don't think I've got a current paint chart either, but that was something. It was barely a free gift because it's essentially like a crap poster with a seam in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But that thing's super useful.
Just knowing what naturally highlights over what.
Yeah, but actually having a list of all the new paints, because I don't know what a Sotek green is compared to a Jade green compared to a...
Luckily, the guy at the local games workshop does, because I've popped in a couple of times for new paints, and I've just said, can I just have whatever new bestial brown is, please?
Yeah.
And he's just been like, yep, it's this one. Like, he's every time he knows what I need.
So I still kind of like see colours in old Games Workshop paint colours.
Yeah, even when we're describing something that's nothing to do with gaming, Tom and I are just like, yeah, it's more of a Space Wolves grey than a Codex grey.
Yeah, like just, I don't know, that's just the names I know for specific shades of colour rather than being like
I'm trying to explain that it's
burgundy
blue,
or
green,
magenta or like, wait, which one's which again? Like, it's more of a fuchsia, it's taupe.
No, it's red gore.
Yeah, it's fucking red gore, maybe a little bit of blood red, but it's red gore, 100%. That's just 100%.
I mean, it's like another language.
Yeah, just these.
It's like your equivalent of text speak. Back in the day, or whatever. Had your own little codes and languages that
It's just so much easier.
spring up around kind of.
We've probably already used a whole bunch of like I've just realised now, I said BFG. Half the audience probably didn't even know that I was talking about Battlefield Gothic.
Yeah, just paraphrasing.
Oh, it's so easy to forget
I don't even know what that
that
is.
you're speaking another
Big
language.
flipping gun.
I mean, even if I knew that meant Battlefleet
big
Gothic, I've
flipping
never
gun.
played Battlefleet Gothic. I don't even know what it's
Yeah,
about.
That's true. It's like,
Is it 40k?
It's 40k spaceship battles.
Right.
It's good.
Actually, I think I have heard of it, but yeah. Wasn't there a video game? to
Yeah,
do
they
with
brought
it?
one out last year.
It's alright, actually.
Okay.
We played. We had like a good load of lunchtimes playing that 2v2. Remember?
Did we?
Me and you played.
Oh, we did play a bit, didn't we?
Played
Yeah, for
together.
like a week.
Yeah, just like every
play
lunchtime.
online?
Yeah, just
yeah.
playing against other people.
Because it had like a progression system where like after each battle you earn a bit of money, you could upgrade your fleet and stuff.
Yeah, like level up your boys.
Yeah, they're making a sequel out this year. I guess it's in the same engine because it's come out so quickly afterwards.
It feels very soon to be making a sequel.
Yeah. And I'm surprised it was popular enough to justify a sequel because I didn't see a lot of other people playing it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it was a fun game. Did you play much Gothic? Were you a Gothic boy?
Back in the day, yeah, I played loads of Gothic.
Gothic boy.
Had a big Chaos fleet.
Oh,
I was big on squadrons.
how many slaughter class cruisers did you
None,
take?
because they were so broken.
How were you that guy?
That
Ben?
thing just needed to be 30, 40 points more expensive. I
Fucking
don't
hell,
understand.
holy
like,
shit.
oh, why?
What was the list? Like 5 slaughter class cruisers and like a single plane ship.
Yeah, just to cover them from bombers while the slaughters running at full speed and
And
murder
that fucking
everything.
fleet just
Ugh,
was so broken.
No, I just had one.
ridiculous.
for funsies.
Yeah,
Classic GW.
just put something in just to ruin the game.
Yeah.
Just fucking ruin the
Is it
game.
just bad design? So how does, like, for example, like, how do they balance or design a new set? Like, do they have a lead designer and stuff, and do they do spreadsheets? Like, how does
They
it?
have a lead designer, but they almost certainly don't balance on spreadsheets because, like, the moment you do that, you see how busted some of their designs are. Like, I don't know why they don't put like basically if you just make a spreadsheet of like every weapon available to a unit and show its points per killing power against like 4 or 5 different kinds of troops, like infantry, space marines, tanks, whatever. Like
Yeah,
you can immediately
multi-movie.
see 2 of those weapons are the best, the other 5 are no good.
Yeah,
I don't know why they don't just plug it in and see and then balance accordingly. Like it's
just
insane.
make more stuff viable. Yeah,
Because every codex, you could probably cross out half of the units and weapons in it if you're going for pure like competitive point of view.
The bad.
So I think they just like wet their finger and stick it in the air and go, it's about 30 points.
Or just spin the wheel of points. Just like this set. I think it's kind of like also each version, because things kind of bobble around and bounce between what's good and not.
Well, I feel like that's kind of done on purpose, because every edition, you can guarantee whatever was super good last edition won't be super good, and whatever was super bad will be a lot better.
How cynical are you about that?
Pretty cynical, like...
That it's blatantly done.
Did you build all your Land Raiders as Crusaders last edition? Well, sucks to be you, because Redeemers are the thing today. Rip all those sponsons off and buy the new upgrade sprue available now.
When they like changed 7th Ed Warhammer to 8th Ed, and it was like Cav now sucks.
Yeah.
Before everyone had Cav armies. Actually, no, giant blobs of infantry. That's how you now win this game.
Yeah. Oh, and all these new monsters that didn't exist in the last edition.
Oh, yeah.
They're the fucking best now.
All of these new toys. So, like, now buy fucking 200 infantry and a couple of these big monsters. This is now the new game. This is what we play. Get rid of your fucking Cav army.
I'm very cynical about it, you know? Like, every time they redo the Lizardman book, they just go, oh... The Triceratops dinosaur, they suck. You want the big T-Rex now.
The who book?
The Lizardman.
Who?
Lizardman.
Oh,
sorry. The Seraphim Fire Guard. Whatever the flip they call them now in the new
Much better.
Age of Sigmar. Why did you remind me that they just changed everything?
Seraphon.
It was quite nice watching you sparkle for a second there. You were just like, every time they change a Lizardmen book, Lizardmen just
don't even exist.
don't even exist.
Of course they don't.
lizards.
I don't know what the change to this Dark Eldar book, because that's, I did some shopping.
Oh, they just brought out new Dark Eldar.
Yeah. So I literally just got it at the weekends. But I barely read it, but it's not the Dark Eldar book.
Oh, no, of course it's not. It's the Drukhari.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Because you can't copyright Dark Eldar.
Exactly. I will never call the Imperial Guard.
I know, it's so annoying. Like, but luckily, it seems like, I don't know, Google's on board with the old ways, because you can just type in Imperial Guard and it just always brings up Astra Militar.
Yeah, they've done it, but everything they can't copyright, they've changed the name of to something they can copyright.
Yeah,
it does mean about 70% of the stuff has changed its names.
Like, do you think of Sisters of Battle or Adeptus Ministronum?
Satori Arias.
So,
whatever.
Which one are the Adeptus Ministronum?
No, Adeptus Ministronum is like the umbrella corporation that the sisters are part of.
Right.
Their thing is the Adeptus Sororatorum or something that is part of the Adeptus Ministronum. Yeah.
No, they're Sisters of Battle.
They're Sisters of Battle.
I want to say Battle Sisters, not
something you can't even say.
I just instantly forgot it.
This does make us sound like the grumpiest of old men, though.
We are those guys now.
Back when I were alive.
These damn kids play the Age of Sigmar. Fuck off! They're fucking lizard men. Yeah.
I think they're having fun doing it though.
Yeah, they're having a whale of a time, and they're shaping their childhood, and we're just there, just being fucking assholes. Yeah, I'm sorry, kids, but it's not what I grew up with. Therefore I hate it. Oh man!
Just change the name.
just change your fucking name on the basis.
But then what would you complain about?
What would I complain about?
Yeah, if they weren't doing that.
If I didn't have fucking 8th edition, the last thing.
Anything.
The last thing they ruined before the new thing they ruined.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want that sweet innocence of when I was young and full of wonder, and we just played, and it was all amazing.
That's it. But as you get better, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Ben to have put all of the stuff for Space Boat Wars, the Star Wars one, into the spreadsheet to figure out which one is the best one. You get the best in the UK like that for a reason.
Yeah.
And you sit and do that. I could pick up Star Wars Armada, and I would pick some cool-looking boats and probably have quite a fun time with it, and pick a couple of crap ones, and if everyone was doing that, it'd be fine, because I haven't actually even played it yet. X-Wing I'm pretty amazing at. I've proven that a few times. But
But yeah, I mean, it's two totally different ways of playing the game.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
One is like the super competitive, try to do the most effective thing possible, and the other one is just like an enjoying a game and a narrative, like playing out.
Yeah,
Both equally valid.
But the more games you play, the more you do see these patterns and systems without having to go through spreadsheets and pointing everything out.
In 40k, you can just, if you've played enough 40k, you can just look at a codex and go, that seems very expensive or very cheap for what it does.
Yeah.
Without
like some things just seem more efficient.
And that straight away takes all the things. I mean, going back to Lewis's Defiler story, the guy that bought that Defiler, chances are he bought it, started smashing things together, and then actually looked at the rules and was like, ugh, don't actually like this. The rules are probably not that good. Before he'd even decided between which gun was what.
But
Just
exactly,
like, it'll probably sell better now. Before, I mean, all of the rules for it could have been terrible. Because they have been.
It could have been any number of things, but the
Defiler hasn't been good for a long
stopped
time.
it. But there's a couple of things, like it doesn't fit, like the rules, like if people play this game, it's a percentage, isn't it? It's like, I always said it was like 50% buying stuff, 30%, well, I suppose about 10% cutting stuff out, 10% gluing, 10% spraying and waiting around, 10% actually painting the fucking thing, and then another 10% of the time, the last 10% playing. Or if you're lucky, I think some people build armies and never play a single person, or just play their best friend.
And some people play and never paint.
When I was a kid, I fucking only played against Michael Chapman. He was the only guy
fucking Michael Chapman
who was even interested in any of this stuff, within miles. And it was tough to find people to play with. There wasn't a local game shop for me stuck out in the middle of fucking a village, But it didn't really matter. I didn't really mind, because so much of the game isn't that. It's weird, isn't it?
hobby. Yeah.
Okay, that.
The hobby. Yeah. All right, there you go.
How are your bases doing, man? Are they all dried?
So these are three
Oh
options.
no, the sound looks way better now. It's got the dry brush over the ink. Can we get is Steve back? Can we do base cam and let chat decide basing? So what have we got?
Okay,
We've got four different bases here.
Well, no, this one doesn't count because this is just this, but earlier, so it doesn't really matter. I haven't put bushes on them, but I was thinking for a start, like this could have I've got some little red bushes. I could go and get them.
Oh yeah. The red would look way better on the dark.
On the
base
black, absolutely.
Than on the.
And I've got some
yellow.
brown bushes I was going to put on here, little scrubby desert bushes. So I can put a couple on and just you guys can decide. But look, the black with these little pebbles on looks so much better.
I like these two. I don't like this one so much.
No,
because of the weird sort of amount of texture. It's like I like varied texture.
I think if it had a few of these big blobs on it as well, like if I stick some bigger rocks on there. I've got some skulls as well, which might work well in the desert.
Skulls.
I also made some. I bought this little green stuff roller, which you can print onto green stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I made some. I didn't bring any of it in today. I didn't know we'd be doing this, but it's I messed around making some little tablets.
Ah, like a little Egyptian sandstone thing.
And so I was going to stick those on the bases. But again, even if I did that, I don't think it would still look as good as this. I just like this a lot.
Yeah, the grey.
The black and grey.
Black and grey is.
I'll get a red,
popular on
a little
Necrons
red
for a
bush,
reason.
and I'll give it a go.
Yeah, get the red bushes and see how that looks, because that will pop a little bit of colour on dark.
I'll get them in the break. Yeah.
Although this, I do like this a lot more than the other desert base.
It's grown on you a lot more. See, that's just the Games Workshop basic setup of.
Nice pun.
Basic.
God, I didn't even.
Chat. Oh, Steve, can you show us the results? He said chat voted and says the black bases look better.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
How much by, Steve?
Quite a margin, I think.
Is it like a big one?
It does look so generic. You're right. It does.
85% on black.
But it looks
really.
Yeah.
So what are each of them? I wanna kind of get involved.
I like the sounds of the black.
So this is like the stuff that comes from Games Workshop. So it's the Grill and Earth plus I think it's washed with this and then a dry brush with this. That's all. So it's like the triple threat, right? There is another triple threat alternative, which is Astra Granite into not this. It's into a bluer shade, but I think it's called I don't know, Reichsberg fucking condoms or something, I don't know. And then that goes into like a grey, which I haven't got as well. But this is kind
the
of...
red shade.
This is kind of a
Caribou
more...
Crimson.
Caribou Crimson, yes. Maybe. No, this is Caribou Crimson.
That's
This is the one I've got.
Oh, that is the one you've got. Oh, there's another
But
one.
this is like a purple one. It's similar to another purple one, which is just slightly different. But they all have their own niche needs, right? You need them for some reason.
Yeah.
And this one is literally just a little bit less sand, some bigger chunks, sprayed black, and then
Grey then white.
then grey and white. Yeah, it's really like
Really
so fucking
easy.
easy.
And it's really striking.
I think like the sand looks cool because it's brighter, like it pops a lot more. But like tonally, like imagine if that was now like grayscale, it would all be exactly the same like tone. Like the color of the sand, the silver, is very very like similar, although it's a different color. Whereas like the models do really pop, and I imagine chat was more into the black bases because
They look better on camera.
they were easier to see. Like you can see what's going on.
The sand looks better now. I've
Like
No, you've dry brushed
in
it.
person, I prefer the sand. I think the sand is cool. I like that it's a bit brighter.
I really like this black. But the thing is, I've already done like so many things with almost finished sand. So I'm not going to go back and make everything black. I'm just not going to. It's just there's no way.
Oh, I'm glad we spent all that time on discussing it.
But now I know that my army looks way worse than it could be.
We couldn't have done it without you guys.
Do you feel valuable?
Thank you for the vote, chat.
I feel valuable.
Fuck you guys. I'm not gonna. Fuck it. I can't be asked. I've not got all fucking day.
Right, I'm having my grey and white back then.
Yeah, take your stuff back.
I'm going to show off what I've accomplished in the last hour. It's not very much.
Shit, we had an hour to go by.
Yeah, that was quick, huh? So,
All I've done is go do a full loop back to where I started.
I painted these boys. These were brown, and now they're 3 different shades of brown.
They're more brown. 3 times more brown.
We've got khaki trousers,
Bukkake trousers.
cream sleeves, and brown leather coats. And I've inked them, which is still drying, which is why I can't do anything right now, and I'm showing them off. Once the ink's dry, I'll go back and do the guns and the skin. And I did some cream on this walker, which I'm not happy with.
File.
Why are you not happy with the
Well,
cream?
it's just I needed something to break it up because it was all
this
that
looks
dark
mine.
brown,
Is it?
and so now I've put a bit of cream on
that
it.
one's yours.
It breaks it up a bit, but it's still a bit bland. Like I think maybe I need some coloured stripes on it or something, like squadron markings.
Coloured stripes.
What do you think, Tom? Yeah, you know paints.
What? I like
This
just didn't
Walker
listen at all. I was
So
talking to signalling Alex about files. Get some stripes.
like some bold colours rather than all the browns. Like a blue or a green or a red or something.
It is very much the same colours that he is. Some colour would help.
The Rebel Alliance.
Some more bits of metal or stuff in there. Some brighter bits of metal.
So the problem with doing like camouflage wargaming miniatures is if you do the camo just right, then they blend into the table and look a bit shit and
Looks awful.
boring.
Yeah, I kind of pulled
Like
that.
the stormtroopers look way better than the rebel troopers just because they're like bold white on sand.
Yeah, they just super pop.
Oh, the mindless painting jobs are my favourite. When you're just slapping on a base coat or dry brushing a base, and you don't even have to really look at what you're doing.
Well, you have to look at what you're doing. You don't have to think about it, though. You can
Yeah,
zone
you can,
off.
like-
You can be like
You
in
can
your
like
own world.
watch a film.
It's
while
like
you're doing it.
meditating.
That's true.
Oh man, yeah. Watching like TV shows or movies. Generally, I wouldn't do it with movies because
There's more to look at.
but like I remember, like big long shows like The Sopranos.
Yeah, you know what everybody's voice looks like. They're either going to be in a cafe or outdoors
Yeah,
or something. You
and it's
can roughly tell what's going on.
Like there'll be 5 minutes where you sit and you're actually watching, them go and do the hit on, Jimmy
like
Three Eyes.
The bit that it's all built up to, you'll watch. But
What's
But
even
most of the time you can just absolutely just ignore it.
when I was building my Dark Angels, I remember I was watching 12 Monkeys TV series. But like, it must have been about episode 4 or 5, I looked up and was like, who the hell's that guy? And then he started talking, and I was like, oh, it's him!
yeah, exactly.
I had no idea what he looked like. I literally never looked up in a scene.
You just listen
to
it.
Oh my god!
I tried to do it with Altered Carbon.
Oh, I did the same thing, but I got to play episode 8 and I was like, I have no idea what's happening.
I'd built quite a lot of
people
models.
change body.
Yeah.
Because it's all about transferring your consciousness to a different body. So like they changed their voices and actors, and I was like, I cannot follow this without watching.
Exactly. Whereas sit me down in front of Red Dwarf, and that's it. You know exactly what the people's face. I mean, there's a little bit of body swapping in that, but not so much.
Well, no. Too. Like audiobooks are a great option.
They do work really well.
Although I feel with an audiobook, because sometimes if I'm painting a few things at a time and you literally need to stop and stretch, then you just sort of sit in your chair and
half an hour goes by and you've done no painting.
and you're just listening to an audiobook, and that feels a bit weird.
So I found that was
with nothing to
oh
do.
no, I know what you mean.
Like,
yeah, like if you're just taking a break from it, that you sit and.
Yeah, you've taken a break. You've just washed everything, or you've just finished
you need to
a round,
wait
and you just
20 minutes for it to
want,
dry.
or you just want 5 minutes just to relax and pick your next colour, or have a think about whether you're doing the right thing or not.
You feel like a bit self-conscious.
Yeah, just exactly with the dog watching. It's like, what are you doing?
Looks like, what's he doing?
It's like really erotic audiobooks you're listening to.
Exactly.
Well, I guess I better jerk it.
Okay, this is awkward. The dog's watching, but it's really sexy.
Completely stationary the entire time.
What is he doing?
What is happening? Is he okay? He looks like he's having
What do
a
I
good
normally
time.
do with my hands?
But yeah, so add if you want to add a name to the potential pool, like there will be a little bit of discretion here.
No, they paid their money, Tom.
It's got the cock plaster.
That's the thing with the Necromunda was super throwaway. Hey, it was easy for us to just call anyone's
Whatever people wanted.
anyone's stuff, whatever, because
But we had a lot of stuff to name.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, that was weird.
It's weird noise. There's like an airlock being opened.
That was the rats in the.
The rats. I heard them the other
The
day.
Yog rats.
Did you?
Yeah.
Scampering along up in the roof.
Just like
That's what we call the editors.
the Yog rats.
They're loose! Someone let them out!
Been manually transporting the files.
Well, that might be more efficient than our network.
Wow.
Did you find some super glue?
No, I haven't got any. If you got
What's that
some,
glue there, Tom? Is that plastic glue?
That's plastic glue.
It's probably not going to cut it. Probably not going to cut it.
I'm going to cut no mustard.
Not going to cut it. We need some super glue up in here.
Where does that come from? That's a really odd phrase, isn't it?
Cut the mustard.
Yeah, that's not going to cut the mustard. Mustard is incredibly easy to cut. You know, it's basically a liquid.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
What
maybe.
about like mustard seeds?
Yeah.
They're
Where is
still
the-
not the toughest thing to cut. Like I feel like I could cut it with my little knife.
I'm going to go and get Duncan's super glue, I think.
Just,
and just so I really want to do some super glue in. I'm going to glue some stuff. I want to make some scarab base. I don't like scarab bases because they look. There's not enough scarabs on them for my.
You want like a swarm of them.
It's supposed to be a scarab swarm, not a scarab occasionally.
Right.
Did Forge World make nice ones like they did with the Tyranid Rippers?
I don't remember seeing any, but I'm not
Maybe.
an expert.
So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double up the amount of scarabs on the base.
Really pile
Put like 8 on there. I need some
I've
super
seen
glue.
some where there's like a proper pile of them.
I think like Maxi Mini do some like a swarm of things. They do a lot of Necron stuff.
Bigger blobs.
Yeah.
I really like it when people use like fantasy style, like beetle swarms or spider swarms or things like that, where they're much, much smaller, and then you put a couple of those on top of them, so it looks like all of the crazy repair bots are going out as one.
All like the nanobots.
Yes, it's more like the
Flying
scene
out.
in The Mummy
Yes.
than, I don't know, like 4 relatively large dogs
Or like,
coming for you.
They're very uniform, aren't they?
yeah, I guess they're a bit like that Black Mirror episode with the little robo
God.
killer dog.
Oh my god, the Roombas have gone mad! It's like 4 Roombas drifting towards you.
Coming towards you with a knife, one knife between them.
Oh, God.
Exactly, not even got a shark cat on top of them.
You guys giggling about.
Nothing.
Sort of feel like I'm the kind of the outsider of this group.
You're the audience surrogate.
Am I?
Yeah, so when we
I feel
start
like
getting too
I'm
nerdy,
lucky to hang out with the cool guys, but they don't really want me here. Does that make sense? They're like, I
understand exactly what you mean.
You get it? Some kind of fucking arsehole says, hey guys, not usually able to watch this stream, so I thought I'd take this chance to let everyone know that an unofficial Ben fan Discord server was made recently.
Unofficial! I'll send a cease and desist letter.
Nice. Yeah, shut that shit down, Ben.
If you're a fan, you should join it, according to some kind of fucking arsehole.
Check it out. I have no idea if it's good or not. Tell me. Go in there and scope it out. Let me know.
Have you not visited yet?
I didn't even know.
Didn't even know it was a thing, Ben.
Have you?
Now you do.
Have you been to your Discord?
What? Mine?
Yeah,
It's
surely
probably
there's-
a Tom chord, right?
There must be a Tom cord.
Every now and again. Can I get the clippers?
Yes.
I would barrel along there, very drunk, and have a little chat, and then normally when I was waiting for food to cook at like 2 a.m.
Right.
And then
Oh, so drunk Discord chat.
yeah, it was basically the best they'd get out of me. It was fun. It was a thing, a bit.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd say if I went into a Discord about me.
Hi guys.
Hi, I'm the guy.
I wonder what I have for my breakfast. Oh, bam! That's it.
We'll do a straw poll.
Oh, perfect. It doesn't feel weird at all now.
Oh, great.
That's what I'll do.
Can make all my decisions
Thanks,
there.
guys.
I'm glad we got this
Oh
sorted
man,
out.
maybe I could get like an app installed that's linked up to the Discord, and I just like they make all my decisions for me,
Oh, like the Dice Man.
like the Dice Man, the Discord man.
Just end up differently.
How
to
long
that,
do you think I would live doing that?
Other people, oh god, but if that sort of like went viral and other people found out about
Oh,
it,
it became like Twitch plays Ben.
yeah. Twitch lives Ben's life. Man, which would be really fucking. That would be an internet sensation.
It would,
But
wouldn't it?
if you just live streamed everything and you just constantly give like options,
Yeah.
you need to have like X amount of money to begin with. But like, I go into a shop. What should I do? Should I buy something or not?
But you'd be in control of the
50
options,
loaves of
though,
bread.
right? You know, it's like the American election.
Okay.
Here we go.
What do I do with the bread now? Yeah, eat it all.
Shove it up your ass!
This has gone horribly.
I thought you'd make me do nice things. These are awful.
Who'd have thought the internet would be me?
Fuck.
Why are they so mean?
Yeah. So maybe don't
Maybe I
let
don't. Maybe I shouldn't live my life like that.
Discord run your life.
Okay.
Great suggestion, guys.
Surely, if you just control the options, you know, like at the election, you can't really vote for whoever you want. You have to vote for one of the two people.
Oh, I thought you were being like very topical with like rigging elections and things like
No,
that.
no, just generally, you know, how elections have always been since the dawn of time. You don't have to rig them if you put two equally corrupt people up, and they can
Right.
only pick between those two. So yeah, you just do the same thing. You go, you know, should I have peanut butter or jam on my toast? I secretly love both jam and peanut butter.
We think you should put cum on your toast, shit on it, and eat that.
I've been mildly inconvenienced because I actually kind of really fancy the jam sandwich right now.
Yeah,
I've had to eat peanut butter on it.
Okay.
That I guess probably wouldn't be an internet sensation though if you played
Yeah, I
it
don't
that way.
think that would take off in the
What,
same
jam or
way.
peanut butter? You don't know peanut thing?
It's a hit new game.
Surely there's a middle ground somewhere where I am internet sensation, but I don't have to jam bread up my ass.
Nope.
And
That's all it is.
And a splinter
I
group
get
of people
your
outraged
clippers
saying, why is there an option for both at the same time? This is awful.
Condiments are people too.
Nice.
Devilish Devoured donated $25. He says, hey Cucketeers, finally, a damn good painting session. I have a question for you. What do you guys think of Magnus and Ahriman? And generally the Thousand Sons? Maybe a little Tom-approved lore chat? What do you think, Tom? How do you feel about Thousand Sons?
I like Thousand Sons, and I'd love to do an army of them, but I don't really love magic that much in 40k. Like if I was playing like a sci-fi thing, I want to do robots, future tanks, guns and stuff. Like I can't latch onto the idea of
You don't like to mix your genres.
like a little bit of it is okay. Like I like psychic assassin guy, Calexus or Calator, or whichever one he is.
Calexus.
He's cool. A little bit of like, the Eldar Farseer kind of stuff. That's sort of fine. But when it's all just like, we're just space wizards.
Yeah.
I find it harder to latch onto. I love everything about.
Because it doesn't have a good enough theme.
Yeah, and I think they're great. I'm not in love with that Magnus model though.
No, I'm a massive Thousand Sun fanboy. But I agree on the Magnus model.
I like the Mortarion model.
Mortarion looks fucking amazing. Magnus, it's just too much like flat, big bits of muscle. He's got those giant wings, and he has crazy fucking nipple horns.
Yeah, the nipple horns are weird.
You're just jealous.
I am jealous because
You've got the shirts for it.
I've got tiny little nipples, and he has these fucking like, holy shit, those are some big nips.
Shit nipples.
But
shit nips.
oh no, yeah. If I could make also because they changed it so you can have pink horrors and blue horrors, and now
that's one of your favourite things.
brimstone horrors. Pink horrors are one of my favourite things in Warhammer.
Explain to the people at home about pink and blue horrors.
You get a pink horror, and when you kill it, instead of it dying, it does die, but it explodes, and two blue horrors suddenly appear.
They're both a blue horror?
They're both a bit shitter. They're kind of goofy guys. In the past, they all used to do this a lot.
Their big wobbly tentacle fingers.
Did this? They had really big hands and funny faces, and I thought they were just the coolest guys.
Oh man!
And now blue horrors explode into brimstone horrors.
That's right.
Which you get like a little base with two brimstone horrors on, which is awesome.
And what happens when a brimstone horror dies?
It dies. It's gone. You're dead.
No more Russian dolls.
No. I wish it just went all the way down.
Just shitter and shitter things.
Just to madness.
But yeah, like I don't know that old like in Warhammer Fantasy when you used to be fighting that unit. And you're like, great, I just killed like 6 pink horrors, and their unit is now
great, I'll put 12 blue horrors on.
You're like, fuck. And it's such a genius model as well for selling toys, because you have to buy 3 times as many figures to just field this one unit. Because you have to buy the original ones and then extras. Genius. And they're not even on the table all at the same time. Fuck, it's so good. And I was really close to making an army of them, but I don't know. I didn't want to do Space Wizards.
I've
I'll do Space Wizards.
Painted.
I've got Space Wizards.
And sold 2 separate Thousand Sun armies.
Fully painted and sold.
Yeah, I did the blue Chaos ones. It was one of my first 40k armies when I joined Games Workshop, and it was amazing. And then I sold it, and then I made a pre-heresy one in red.
Ooh, the red ones.
I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah, Thousand Suns are super cool guys.
And they're one of the only ones of the bad Marines that turn to Chaos for a good reason.
Oh yeah, they did it like legit.
Gemstone one.
All they wanted to do was like warn the Emperor.
Yeah, they just wanted to help, and then the Emperor treated them like a jerk. So they're like, well, I guess.
Well, I kind of
the
blame the
blue
fucking
flip.
Space Wolves a bit, because they were always like,
Just give you all
magic's
the
bad,
reds.
wolves are good. We should tell them off, they broke the rules. But they did warn us, no, we've got to punish them. And they were waiting for a chance to go kick the shit out of the...
The fucking nerds.
Because, like, there's Space Wizards, they didn't even shoot the Space Wolves on the way in. They were just like...
They were chill.
Guys, come on, peace. It's okay, we warned you about the bad stuff. And they're like, nope, fuck you.
They wanted to be good guys, and they were forced to be bad guys.
Yeah.
Got some little red plastic crystals here, Ben. I don't know if I need to paint them or not. Maybe I won't. I'll just leave them as they are. I'll just glue them down to the middle of this base. Stick them in there like just a little crystal formation.
Crystal Formation.
Yeah.
That was Shin's character in the first Call of Cthulhu game.
Wasn't it? Crystal formations.
Was he a stripper?
He completely hated playing that character as well because it was really awkward.
He always ends up hating his characters in roleplay, doesn't he? I feel like half an hour in, he just instantly regrets every character decision he's made.
Well, it's partly because he didn't make them in the first place.
Well, yeah, he didn't come up with any character for that, and
It's hard
just
to become
made it as a
attached to
joke.
character that you hate.
And then, like half an hour later, and you're like, "Oh, this joke." It was like funny when you made it, but now you're like stuck telling the same joke over and over again for the next like 6 hours.
Shit.
Theodore's donated says, now that you're painting, can one of you paint 5 skulls on my memorial crate? For the 5 times Yogscast members have killed me in games.
Oh, perfect.
Alex is the only one of you guys who hasn't killed me yet.
Oh dear.
No.
Sounds like you've had a pretty rough.
So sorry.
He's like the
Time of it.
Yogscast version of Bill Paxton.
Wow.
Because he's been killed by a Predator, an Alien, and a Terminator.
Oh,
So
shit.
the only actor who has.
Holy fuck.
Oh, wow.
The Jonin Cactuar says, hey, love the Battleboys and Tom. Have any of you guys seen the suggested thread I made on Reddit? Can't wait to see some of the new and interesting games being played. Still holding out on having a Blood Bowl tourney with Flax. Finally.
I asked sort of
Tom looks like Treebeard.
for a bit of a Battleboys,
Thank you.
a Battleboysy suggestion thread on Reddit.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I thought it would be good to have you guys like give us some input on things.
But yeah, no, I checked out the thread and it was good. There's some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it
Yeah,
updated.
like-
If you ever think of anything
Yeah, I
you
think
should be playing,
having
just pop it on the thread on Reddit.
something like that is pretty
It's nice to have it all in one place instead of like a million different tweets and threads and stuff.
suggestions.
Yeah, I agree. Warrior C27 says, in Heresy, Army of Magnus and Special Terminators will fucking rape everything. They've brought out small books of rules for Heresy, so they don't need the big black books. I bought the Necron Codex. Oh my god, it was like fucking 40 quid, maybe even more.
Yeah, well, they've done this new thing where they make everything hardback, even though it's only like 50 pages, and charge more money for it.
And lasts for 9 months.
Yeah, Jesus.
What, before it breaks?
Well, no,
Well, no,
before the
until
edition
they
changes.
Update
Oh,
it.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
All those codexes that came out just before.
Yeah, my
edition.
Juicy the Cults Codex and all sorts of other things that
That was naughty.
really naughty, actually.
Sneaky.
Um,
Sneaky Games Workshop.
Didn't like
Up to their old
business
tricks.
Griffin says, hey guys, have you heard about the Ninth Age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Unofficial successor of 8th edition. So what is it? Go on.
It's well, it's exactly what we said. It's a fan evolution of 8th edition Warhammer to take over after Age of Sigmar.
Oh, right.
But I didn't really like 8th edition, so...
So what's an 8th edition of the original fantasy?
So 8th edition Fantasy was the last edition of Fantasy, and then
Right.
Age of Sigmar took over.
Yeah.
So the 9th Age is the hypothetical fan-made 9th edition of Warhammer
Okay.
that builds on 8th edition. But I didn't like 8th edition, so I don't like...
What was
they've
the
done with
version that we were looking at with that, the weird like point structure thing, where you had that like almost like beardiness rating?
Oh, that's the Swedish comp.
Swedish comp. If I was going to play again, that's the version I'd want to play.
Yeah.
I've heard very good things about it, but it is
It's
massive.
basically like this committee made composition rules for Warhammer, and they knew all the best lists and all the tournament tricks and stuff. And they basically said, they went through every army list and said, if you take these things and these amounts, you get this sort of like cheese rating that then affects like how many points you can spend in your army or something like that. Or you had to get your cheese rating under a certain number.
All you
both
agreed
decided
playing.
on a cheese rating before you fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd play 2,000 points.
Cheese factor 5.
Yeah, like, or however it was like worked out like.
Cheese factor 5.
And
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
nice. It's like turning off the really broken guns in a
Yeah.
in
It's
a
like playing
game or
GoldenEye and
whatever.
saying
Yeah,
no odd
exactly.
job.
Just
Yeah,
no odd
like-
job, no stupid pistols,
Just proper stuff.
yeah, like super balanced.
no power swords in Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's
Yeah, so you could just say, this level of cheese, I don't want the bullshit super wizard, please.
Yeah, and you'll find enough people to play with. Well, they say, I don't know, Bristol's got a reasonably good scene for 9th Age. It's taken on fairly well. There are enough people playing it between here and Bath and Cardiff that
Cool.
people
Really?
are actually playing that rather than
Sigma.
rather than Sigma. Because what else do you do with your 200
Well, that's it.
models and
They've
movement
already got
trays and
that whole
everything
army
else?
they made.
yeah, and you don't want to suddenly stick everything on round bases.
Selecus says, Tom,
Hey,
when you add a guide to the top of your tanks, can you please name one Captain Cucketeer?
Captain Cucketeer.
For God's sake.
I feel like calling my guys the Cucketeers sounds pretty funny.
Yeah.
And the leader can be called Lewis.
Oh, nice.
And it'll be Lewis and the Cucketeers.
Perfect.
I like your thinking here, Tom.
I can just imagine Imperial High Command now saying, we've got a breakthrough in Sector 7. Don't worry, I'm sending in Lewis and the Cockatiels.
Oh my god. Yeah, holy shit, that is perfect. You the leader?
So I think I've finished my modified scarab base. Would you like to see what I've done to it? Do you
yes.
get the camera?
Oh, I've just mixed some highlighting paint. Can it
Wait, well, it needs to dry
1 minute.
anyway, so I'll carry on with these. Warrior C27 says, the Tom Chord is a fantastic place. Definitely not a secret cult that worships Tom. It's been a while since you were on, Tom.
Oh, okay, so actually...
Oh, you have an alt account. Are you there every night? They don't know.
So if you go to... like, I don't really use Discord that much.
Yeah.
So I'm really bad at it. But within like a Discord, is that what you call like a group? You get like little things.
Little rooms.
Like when I used to go along there and I was like a little bit drunk, would like go in and be like, hey guys, what's going on? And then like lots of people would be like, hey, how you doing? Like, whatever. I then went on there like, I don't know, a few months ago. I was like, hey guys, what's going on? And like, no one said anything. And I was like, oh shit. And I did it again like a month later. And then like I checked in and I saw that like, oh, I was in the like, the welcome
Oh,
bits,
everyone was in the cool guys
not
room.
the main part. And
So you think it's not a very friendly place?
Was so embarrassed that like didn't say anything and like didn't go back. Just because I was like, oh my god, I've been this hard. Shit.
So you ran out of that before anyone could see the peas up your nose.
Yeah, the peas on my nose.
You ready? Ready to show off your shizzle bizzle?
Yeah, so this is what it started off as, like this. Okay.
Yeah, let me zoom.
And what I've done is
There we go. Crazy cam is
I've
off.
just massively overfilled the base with scarabs, right? So there's a lot
Oh
more.
man, that is
on
a whole
there.
swarm.
There is a crystal, a red crystal, and some red flowers sticking on the side.
Yeah.
And this guy, I don't know if you can see, is like on a crystal.
Ooh,
It's like a
that's
little bee harvesting crystal pollen.
So I replaced like his base with a crystal, basically.
Ah, nice.
So he's
That looks
now
much cooler.
on a crystal. It's a little bit unglued at the moment, but there you go. Like there you go. There's some scarabs.
I like the red on the black, having a pop of colour on it. I think maybe 1 or 2 less scarabs.
1 or 2 less. There's too many now.
Well, that's enough scarabs, but with the crystals as well, it's very
It's
busy
very crowded. It's too many things.
for me.
I just wanted them to be like swarming all over the place. I feel like I've achieved it, but yeah, maybe too much.
I think it depends on like how many crystals you put on the other bases.
That's true. There'll be different levels of scarabs and different levels
Because
of
I like
crystals.
well no I mean on your like regular guys, you putting crystals on everyone's bases or just the scarabs bases?
I feel like this is a one-off project.
I like it. I think that's a good horde of scarabs.
Yeah.
Like scarabs on top of scarabs, them all scuttling over each other.
Yeah, you want it to be more like the mummy.
I
Like
much
the mummy.
prefer scarab bases that look busier. And scarabs are pretty fucking cheap anyway.
Well, you get so many
You
with
get
them.
them free with warriors because they're on the same sprue as warriors. So every time you make warriors, you get fucking free scarabs. And
Yeah.
I'm never going to have more than like, I don't know, 6 or 9 bases of scarabs in my army. And I've
Damn,
got
yeah.
like 12 of them.
Smush
fucking
them
just
all
here.
together. What was
So I'm going to shove them all together, smush them up.
There was a build with the last edition, or in the last edition, where you needed like hundreds of base of them, and then the canoptech spiders, and you
Oh, because the spiders could make more scarabs,
make
couldn't
more
they?
scarabs and super spam them, and you needed millions of them.
Sounds pretty fucking good.
Dreamy. Can't wait.
I would have liked to have done that. Because they can make scarabs in this edition, but you can never go above the starting number. Whereas in the past you used to be able to like
I just hide in
them
the
out.
corner and build it.
but like if you rolled a 1 then your tomb spider took a wound or something. I don't know.
pooped them too hard.
Like yeah, you like oh,
Too many scarabs. Oh god. It's like a weird egg. Fucking hell. Bootstrap says, hey guys, these painting videos are what got me into Warhammer. Several £100 later. Oh no.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I feel like we get
No,
an adequate
actually,
warning.
it's fine. Several £100 later, I've got a badass orc army I am
Oh.
completely in love with. I'd love
fair
it if
enough.
I could be a guy in a cool jacket in Tom's tank army. Or
Bootstraps.
maybe someone falling off a tank.
Bootstraps. That's a good name for like a driver or gunner, isn't it?
Bootstraps. That's like a comedy like joke name for like a guy who is in a tank.
Bootstraps. Oh, no, again.
Oh, who left the hatch open?
yeah.
Bootstraps.
There you go. Well, that was our stream, everyone. I think we're gonna probably leave it here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Battle Boys. We will be back next week with more of this garbage. Hopefully next time we'll actually play a game, but maybe we'll play a shorter game because normally it's a bit of a stress. Like we managed to get through about a turn of 40k in an hour and a half, and then rush the next 2.5 turns out in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and do better, but I definitely want to play Malifaux. So if we can,
He'll do that. Need
if we
to
can pull that together.
get out the
read the
toys
rules.
and maybe play a practice game before. Because
Well, because you used to play it all the time, right? Is what I've heard. So it should come back to you pretty quick.
I don't even know if we ever even played that game of second edition.
We did play once because we both went and bought the books and the cards for our old models, and we went to a game store and we played like one game of it, trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah, I think
I'm
we
not
played
sure
like
if we
2
were doing it
turns
right.
and then we said fuck this and we went to the pub. I am almost certain that happened because it was really cold in there. Remember?
It was freezing actually. Yeah, it was not the warmest.
Anyway,
Yeah, the pub was a much better option at that stage.
That's that. Thank you for these paints, Alex. They're going to be really interesting to muck around with. I think this is a great search.
Well, no, thank
We should.
the guys that sent them.
Now we
They're
know
good.
we have so much more random crap to muck around with. Maybe we'll bring in some other models and play around.
Yeah.
So see you next week, everyone.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for
Check
more
us.
content. Until next time, we are the Battleboys. Goodbye.
Bye.